Okay, the stream has started. All right, let me make sure
Okay.
everybody can view the stream or at least hear everything. All right, let me get a mic check on Quest. Quest, say something.
Yeah,
All
yeah, I'm
right,
here.
Mike, this is
I can
Quest.
hear. I can hear it all now.
Okay.
Okay, Angel, you could just hear me, right?
I can hear it all. I can hear everything. I just heard Wes speak.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, but y'all can't hear him. Okay.
No, I just heard Angel.
No, we just heard him.
Oh,
Can
so
you
hear
y'all,
hear
me.
me?
so y'all can hear each other then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
let him speak.
All right, say something, Quest.
Yeah, testing, testing.
I heard
I can't
testing.
hear
Yeah.
nothing he's saying. Whatever he's saying.
Say
Well,
something,
I
Mike.
heard everything. Test 1 2.
All right, let me just. Oh damn, I can't because I can't take that out. Um,
I heard Wes say something earlier, but
Testing. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
all right, let me do this. Let me do this. Okay, now y'all say something.
yo,
Yeah.
Testing.
I heard him a little.
All right, because it's gonna be an echo. It's gonna be a
That's
serious.
fine.
It's gonna be a serious up echo. Okay, say something.
Yo,
So
All right, cool.
Testing.
Say something, Quest.
Testing.
Can you hear him?
I heard a little bit of him.
Yep.
All right, let me turn it all the way up. All right, say something.
Testing.
Yeah, I hear him. I hear him.
Okay.
He said testing, testing.
All right, can y'all hear Angel? Say something, Angel.
Yo, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Angel.
SOCOM.
Okay, perfect.
Say something, SOCOM.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. All right, man. All right. So I don't need all that. All right, Mike, we just going to introduce the show as we do, and then we just going to keep going on with it. All right,
Cool.
all right, fellas, and five, four, three, two.
Welcome back to WWTF. We want the Facts the Game Show. I'm Mike C.
I'm Fred Y. I think we started. I think we started off like real bad because I had the stream set up wrong, but it's cool. But go ahead, Mike.
Let's just keep it moving. Well, let's just keep it moving, man. We'd like to thank all you guys for tuning in right now. Today, we're here to discuss E3 predictions.
All right, so today joining us we got Quest. Say hello, Quest.
Hello, fellas.
All right, Quest is a lifelong, well, not lifelong, but he's a long-time friend, man. Ever since the original Xbox, so we go way back. And actually, he's our clan leader. So if you're wondering why I have NBL in front of my gamer tags, this is the reason why he's the clan leader of the NBL clan. We also have SOCOM Warrior. He's busy playing Madden. Hopefully, he'll chime in. Can you say something, SOCOM?
Sure I can. What's going on, fellas?
All right.
All right.
And then we got another dude that I grew up. Now this dude I actually grew up with. I known him ever since he was in damn diapers and he couldn't talk. He could not talk. He was just crawling around, shitty diapers and everything. my man Anton, and apparently he can't even talk today because his mic is fucked up. So Anton, he can hear the stream, but he can't talk. And then we got my man Angel Ortiz. Angel Ortiz, if you remember, he helped us out big time with the Alienware Alpha project. I couldn't complete the external GPU. He came on. He saw the show actually. He came on and he helped us out. So if y'all are doing that Alienware Alpha project, make sure you watch that video and check him out. Get in contact with him after the show is over. I'll put everybody's links in, so if you want to get in contact with everybody. What's up, Angel?
Yeah, what's good, buddy?
All right, so today,
Long-time gamer, 33 years.
33 years.
Get that.
So
33 years.
Good.
we have some vintage gaming in the room tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, so
What's
to,
up, buddy?
well, today we're doing E3 predictions, right? So we're predicting, or we're talking about like what's going to happen with Xbox codename Scorpio. We're going to talk about Ubisoft, whatever. My love-hate relationship with them, Nintendo,
Right.
and a couple of other things, man. Some things that we expect. Now, if I invited you earlier today, if you want to join in on the PSN side, come on in. I still have two more slots left. What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 3 more slots left. So if you want to chime in on the conversation, you're welcome to come in. So let's first start talking about the Xbox codename Scorpio. What do we think that's going to happen with that? Angel, let's start off with you.
Well, from what I've heard, there's been a lot of speculation and rumors about release date, and there has been actual testing of the Scorpio. They tested Assassin's Creed Origins in 4K, and it said it ran better than a PC build. So that's so far that what's been confirmed. No official date. Some people are saying October, some people are saying September. They're not saying November release. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm sure there's a bunch of games getting ready to be released too, big names. I don't know. We'll see what happens as time goes along. But so far, so good. That is one thing confirmed is that their 4K is 100% true 4K 2160p. That is confirmed.
Good.
All right.
That is confirmed.
Okay, let's pass it over to Quest. Quest, what do you think about Xbox Scorpio?
Well, I think the Scorpio is going to be an incredible machine that's going to rival PCs based upon the information that's out there, which will be really revolutionary because, as we all know, there's that PC master race. This is probably going to disturb them a little bit, especially if the price is where people are predicting it will be around $400.
All right, SOCOM. Oh, go ahead, Quest.
No, that was it. I think it's going to be a big surprise for Microsoft.
Okay, SOCOM. I can't hear you, SOCOM.
Hey, I wanted to add one more thing on that note. Before you guys go any more further, that they did say that this is not considered a console. So, with that said, Microsoft might come with a surprise.
Okay. Mike.
Okay. I can predict that the Scorpio is going to be most definitely better than that PlayStation Pro. At first, when I first saw the Scorpio, I thought it was just going to be another PlayStation Pro. But what they're showing us right now and what's in the rumor mill is that it's going to, like old boy said before, it's going to contend with the PCs. So as far as price point, that's the most underlying thing that they mentioned about price point. I'm thinking it's going to cost about as much as the original Xbox when it first came out, $499. That's why I just see as far as the price is just how Microsoft is selling it and how they're saying this is a premium console. As far as this, it's not their very next console, but it's a premium console to contend with all the stuff that they have right now.
Correct. He's right.
Okay.
Agree.
I think I'm kind of on a different side as everybody because as we all well know, every time they launch a console, it's always going to be underpowered because the console was already developed years prior before it came out. Now, with the announcement of the a new chip from AMD and a new chip from Intel, which is the i9 processor, and then AMD has a powerful processor that's coming out as well. I think that this system is going to be behind. I don't think it's going to compete with PCs right now out the gate, like maybe the first couple of months. But when that i9 processor comes out and that AMD processor that you were talking about, Angel, comes out, I think that's going to totally kill the Scorpio. I think that the Scorpio is just built for people that can't afford to go out and spend like 12, 13, 14, $1,500 on a PC that can just run everything. And I don't think that this is going to be Microsoft last console, because if that does happen, that opens the door for Sega, Atari, or any other fallen console to come out with a more powerful system.
Okay, let me chime in on that for right now. As far as if they say this is their last console, it got to be a way that you can update the CPU and CPU. I don't know if they're going to give us that amount of flexibility with their console. So if they say this is their last console, that's the only way I see how they continue to make money.
Angel, you were saying something?
That's the catch. Yeah, and I think that's what Xbox is gonna do, is allow us to be able to update CPUs and GPUs on it. Yeah, you're exactly correct though. I mean, because of the CPUs out there, yes, you're exactly correct. You know, with the new technology that's coming out with them, and I'm sure they're gonna be able to compete with it. Yeah, but right now there's only one graphics card. It's not the 1080 Ti, but it's the Titan X. The Titan X can run all games at 2160p and above.
Wow.
And above. But any other card, no. Right now, it's blowing everything out the water. As it is right now. I mean, they're on track to make sure that the next generation of gaming is going to be the true 2160p. And it's been confirmed. I mean, it's been confirmed. All their games that translate, they said all the games that you have in your library right now will be able to be transferred into the Scorpio. So that way, you get the resolution will be upgraded to 2160p.
Quest chiming on that.
I kind of missed some of that because I stepped away from the microphone. What was that? What exactly did I miss?
Where we're talking about, well, what I said was, I think that the Scorpio is going to be underpowered. With it coming out for the first couple of months, since you have CPs out there that you can upgrade to the new i9 chip and the new AMD chip, I believe, coming out. I don't think that the Scorpio would be a powerful machine compared to a pro gamer's PC. Plus, I don't think that would be the last console, because also what I said was, if Microsoft makes this their last console, that opens up the door for Atari and Sega. It opens up the door, especially for Sega, to try to come out with maybe the Dreamcast 2, because we cannot sit up here and say, okay, we got to give Sega their props. Sega was the first to come out actually with online services way back with the Genesis, when they had that cartridge that you stuck in the it was like some tennis game. It wasn't a lot of games that had online capability. They were also the first ones that come out with the VR on the original Sega Master System. And with the Dreamcast, those graphics were, I'm telling you, the Dreamcast graphics were top notch at the time of that release. And then like how Microsoft did them when they made the Dreamcast, Microsoft said, well, if we let you use our chip, you need to let us know the innards of your system. And then a couple of years later, they came out with the Xbox, and the Xbox looked so similar to the Dreamcast with the 4 ports, with the controllers that had the 2 additional slots in it. It was just a carbon copy, but just Microsoft just took it and did it a lot better as far as the online capability and stuff like that. Basically, what we were saying was, It was. I don't think it's going to compare to. I don't think it's going to live up to the expectations of PC gamers within like.
Well, here's the reality. The reality is that we're starting to see a blurring of the differences between the PC and the console. What's happening is that if you've noticed over the last few years, there have been some significant changes in the console market. One of the significant changes is downloadable games. You know, everybody wanted a copy of their game up until recently, and there are folks now that really don't mind downloading a game. It's a little bit more convenient. Of course, you don't have a hard copy, but that's more PC-like than ever. In addition to that, we're seeing the consoles actually doing. If you look at the last two generations of computer gaming, these consoles today can outperform any PC that was done 4 or 5 years ago. So, you know, in my opinion, there are advantages to both. On the console side, the advantage is that simplicity. If you have a console, normally the game, if you download a game or you load a game in by disk or whatever way that you load it into your system, it's going to work normally 100% of the time. With a PC, it's a little bit more complicated. You can have issues, you can have problems. So if we can come out with something that's console-like and PC-like, a hybrid, and that's what I think Microsoft is doing. They're doing a hybrid of both. And I think that if they do it right, they're going to have really, and it's all about the games. If you can game in 4K and it looks just as good as the games that we look at today on PC, let me tell you something. I think that they're really being onto something. And it's probably going to have a detrimental effect also on the PC market to a certain extent.
I agree with him.
So, I think I really think that Microsoft, if it's handled right, I think Microsoft is really going for the gaming market entirely.
Okay.
Right.
And I think what really set up Microsoft is that PlayStation 4 dropped their hate to say it, load first, so they can see what not to do when they do a console or like an upgrade to a console.
I'm on the same page that you are.
Yeah.
They've had an opportunity to see what was done wrong.
Because when you think about it, they have been actually losing as far as the actual console rate with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But what it looks like now, they look like they're in prime position to take the lead.
Because to me, it went back and forth. Like last generation, I was all about the Xbox 360, and the only time I would play the PlayStation is when I had exclusive games. Then that turned around, and another subject that we're not talking about with the Xbox family is this ban. I've seen so many post YouTube videos of people getting banned for saying, you know, explicits and stuff like that. I mean, I feel I don't like jumping online playing with a whole bunch of kids that's really disrespectful or playing with immature people, but that's a form of censorship. That is really a form of censorship. If Xbox has all your information about how old you are, your birthday, why can't we feel free to express ourselves, you know, in a way that gamers do? Now, racism, bullying, and stuff like that, I don't agree with that at all. But just saying explicits and stuff like that, I don't think that that's proper for banning people. And I hope that don't go over to whatever the Scorpio is going to be named. And to touch on what Angel was saying, because you haven't built the PC yet, right, Mike?
No.
So Angel, Quest, and myself, we have all built PCs, And the reason why I said that I don't think that Xbox is going to be the most powerfulest gaming system is because if it doesn't have the ability to upgrade the GPU, the CPU, and the processor, you will not win in the console wars, especially if you're saying that this is your last console. You know, either way, I'm going to get the system. Either way, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get it, no doubt. But
Yeah.
the false claims is what I'm not there with. And with PlayStation, I think PlayStation messed up tremendously because number one, PlayStation is the author of Blue K movies. They are the ones that came out with the Blue K drives and all that.
Blu-ray.
Why would you put out a Pro Series console and you not put a HD drive in it? A lot of people like myself don't like downloaded content. I hate downloading content. I'd rather have my physical disc, and I wouldn't mind a copy of it because I've seen stuff like with GameSpy, when you buy games on GameSpy and that server goes down or is in non-existence anymore, then it's a hard time trying to get all those games that you purchased with that server. Because we know that PlayStation and PSN is not going to last forever. Eventually, one of these systems are going to go down, and you're going to, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
counter on that one?
Go ahead.
Can I counter on that one? Well, what I was gonna say is it got the Xbox got the feel kind of like Steam. So Steam, how they get their library, you can download their digital content and it's linked to an account. Yeah, there are always going to be server issues regardless of if it's using a PC or it's either console. I mean, Friday the 13th got released. Okay, we had problems with multiplayer, people trying to get in rooms, people trying to save their progress and stuff like that. But as time went and developed, with all the updates, because like they said, there are always going to be bugs in games, no matter what. Any type of game, either you buy it on disc or you buy it on digital, regardless, there's always going to be bugs. We have to go through the bugs in order to square everything away in order for the game to run perfection.
Right.
That's mandatory. That's mandatory. That's gonna always happen. That's something that just happens with games. Period. Any game you play, it's not just one game. It's all games, from Call of Duty to Gears of War to Halo to probably probably gonna be a multiplayer for God of War. All this stuff is gonna have problems, and that's mandatory because if you look at it, everything has its update process. It's gonna come with it. We just something as gamers, we have to deal with that kind of stuff, and that's just natural. That's nothing new. Steam does the same thing too. They have updates for their stuff all the time. Because I got a whole library full of games, and then sometimes updates come up, and I see, oh, okay, there's an update. Boom, 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 boom. It automatically downloads it, but it patches it up, which makes a lot of sense. So I mean, yeah, there's always going to be that problem. What I want to see, really, if they lift up to their name, saying that it's going to be 4K all the way. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I want them to really live up to what they say.
Right. I want to see the expectations. I want to see what they're going to bring to the table. There's another rumor. I didn't bring this up, but there is a rumor. I'm just saying it's a rumor. It's not confirmed. There's going to be crossplay between the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC all linked to one.
Well, we like to touch on that too, because me and Fred just did a review on what was that
Star Trek,
and that was crossplay with the Star Trek VR.
Now, I wish that they would do stuff like that. They put them on the same server because as me and Mike, we do reviews on game shows, so sometimes I may have multiple copies of games. Like for instance, Ghost Recon Wildlands. I would love to play with people that's on Xbox, and I would love to play with people that's on PlayStation. I would love to play with people that's on Steam. But I don't want to go through all of that stuff again to having to get skill points and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
why can't I just go ahead and, have that account linked to everything? And I think, you know what? We haven't did the review on Dirt yet, but I have to find out. But I think Dirt 4 also lets you do that across multi-platforms. I got to go inside and check a setting in there. But I think don't quote me on this, but I believe that Dirt 4 gives you that option too. But if they do that, that would be great. And you know,
That was a rumor in February. So that was, thrown out there that Microsoft and Sony had secret talks about possible crossplay.
that would be terrific. That would be great, man. And well, let's talk about price point now. What do you think that Xbox Scorpio would be priced at? Let's start off with you. Let's start off with Quest. What do you think is going to be priced at, Quest?
I would say probably around $4.99. Anything higher than that, it would be very difficult to sell. Yep.
Angel.
Bundles. I think there's going to be bundles. Yeah, he's right. I think the lowest will be $4.99, but I think the highest could go to about $600.
Well, that's no question. GameStop. That's no question.
Because of hard drive space availability and what you want. Because I'm sure the lowest they're gonna go is probably maybe a terabyte, the lowest. Maybe they go up to 2 or 3 terabytes, just depending. Because people have libraries. We're talking about people that are already converting libraries after libraries of games that they already have. And my library right now, I'm using external, and I just wasted over a terabyte. That's over 51 games. So believe it or not, I think it's going to be a terabyte at the most. I think the terabyte will cost $4.99 with the price, and then the highest it'll probably go up to maybe $600. Each one it'll go up to, maybe it'll go to 1.5 terabyte, maybe it'll go to a 2, and then you might be able to still use externals like how the Xbox is doing and the PlayStation 4 is doing. So yeah, I'm predicting exactly what you said. Starting price $4.99.
Mike.
Well, I already said that prediction $4.99 before, and I'm sticking with that. And I did like the idea as far as they got to keep external hard drive. That's the only way, because games nowadays, man, they take up a lot of memory, especially if you have a lot of games.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on that too. $4.99, I think, will be the price point. If they go any over, then you would have to say, okay, am I going to get a PlayStation 4 Pro, or am I going to get an Xbox, whatever it's going to be called?
Right.
And I hope the hard drive is the only issue that we really have with the Xbox, because you can, with the exception for the 360, if you switch your hard drive out, you have the potential of getting banned on that system.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft always been hard on banning people. They ban people for little stuff. It could be for, cursing and stuff like that. But don't get me wrong for saying it. Just because of that, there has been one story that I heard, and it's been confirmed. You can actually Google this. You do not believe me. That someone actually did a robbery on a guy. He accidentally turned on his Xbox One, and Microsoft overheard the conversation in the background because the Kinect was on, and basically stopped the people from robbing him from getting murdered.
Oh, that's good.
That's another thing. That's another thing that you cannot deny what Microsoft has done that has been good. Is that point right there? If somebody was getting robbed at gunpoint, come on. There's got to be some leverage about it. Okay, but in terms of the banning, I do agree with you. I do agree with you 100%. But there's a lot of immature gamers. This is the young generation. They're not like us. We have passion and love for the game. It's not the same compared to what these young kids do. They take one loss, and it's the biggest loss in the world. And if it ain't about money, ain't nothing worried about stressing. It's just a game.
Right.
Yep.
It's just a game.
And let's touch on the Kinect. Now, everybody has their different opinions on the Kinect. I actually have 2. I have one hooked up to one of the PCs that I built for motion capturing in the future, and then I still have the day one edition Xbox where I have my Kinect hooked up, and I like it. I like the ability to tell this thing to cut off when I'm laying in the bed and I can't find the controller. I mean, I like it. Do you think that they would implement the Kinect or bring another different type of Kinect to the Xbox Scorpio?
Probably not at first.
No,
Nah, because I really don't see that. Nah.
no.
Quest, what do you think?
Well, I think that they're trying to feel their way through VR, and I think that a camera similar to the Kinect would be implemented for VR. So it's really up in the air because VR right now is so expensive that the average gamer probably wouldn't buy it until the prices come down. But I think that you're looking at a camera of some sort once VR becomes mainstream.
I think they would have to bring out another camera, but with Microsoft, when they do stuff, they like to do it bigger and better. So I think they will implement some type of Connect feature with the camera because you're going to have that in order to play any type of VR game, or you're going to have some type of sensors, a sensor
Well,
with the
as
Vive.
long as you're not jumping, around looking silly, as long as it looks like it. See, one of the biggest problems with VR is that VR will cut you from real life. I mean, you're sitting there with a helmet on and earphones, and people around you in the room. That really isolates you from everybody and everything. So they got to overcome that also. So I mean, just imagine. You're downstairs in the basement, your family's upstairs, somebody comes down, your family comes down, and you have this headset on. They yell at you, and you can't even hear them. That's gonna look kind of odd. You know what I mean? So, there's some work to be done. There really is.
And you know what? I got to come down there to you, Quest, because I got to bring. You haven't played the Vive yet, have you? Have you played the HTC Vive yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I gotta come down. Maybe we'll come down there to him, Mike, and we'll do a show, and I'll bring the Vive down there to him. He's in Waldorf, so it's not that far. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how this thing is going to do. Well, we all know tomorrow at 2:00 we shall know everything about what the Xbox Scorpio would be, the release date, and the price point, and what you can do to this. But I think if they don't implement the upgraded GPU, CPU, the memory, and the hard disk space, of course they're going to have USB ports. But my thing is that I don't want to keep carrying around hard drive after hard drive because then that becomes, you have to find so many plugs to plug your stuff up because I think the largest self bus drive is about 4 gigs. I mean, no, 4 terabytes.
4 terabytes.
And it does not take you a long time to run out of 4 terabytes of space dealing with games because each game is about like 60 gigs, 50 something gigs. So a terabyte, we all know, is 100 gigs basically.
Right.
So if
1,000, you mean?
a thousand, oh yeah, 1,000 gigs, right?
Some of us know.
So you run out of the space real quick with that, and I hope that they do something like they implement a 3.5 hard drive instead of the small laptop hard drive where you can get more space. Because now they have like 10 terabyte hard drives, 12 terabyte hard drives, and then they have something that's greater than a terabyte. But that's going to cost you a exorbitant amount of money. I forgot what was it called, Quest or Angel? What's bigger than a terabyte? What's the next size up?
It'd be the highest I've ever seen. Oh my god.
Because I know the military has it.
Oh no, their technology is like
Well, I'm about to look it up.
Their technology, their processors, their GPUs, they're already 10 years ahead of us. What we're using now is outdated.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, man. It's day one. The Scorpio will be outdated. It would be an outdated system due to them building it years before. So it's not going to be current. It's not going to be like, all right, well, you have socket, whatever, whatever, so you can change out this processor. And I really don't believe that Microsoft is going to allow us to change, especially the process. I don't believe that they're going to allow us to do that. If they implement something like a Thunderbolt connection or USB-C type connection on the back of the Xbox Scorpio, then you'll have a chance to do an external, at least external GPU.
Yeah.
But if they don't implement that, I don't see how this system is going to be a game changing thing. And
Okay, what's larger than terabyte? Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
now go ahead.
We got something called a petabyte.
Petabyte.
A petabyte is larger than terabyte.
And that's if the BIOS of the Xbox will be able to read that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we don't.
I've been having private sessions about this, so obviously everybody that has seen the private session that's been on YouTube that said that they've seen the Xbox Scorpio perform the way it performs, I think it really is going to live up to his name. But like I said, the other stuff like you're explaining, updating your CPU, your GPU, and able to update your hard drive and all that stuff, but that is yet to see. That is yet to see. I don't mean to cut you short, but I know I have to go back to go shopping. I don't mean to cut
Okay,
you short.
yeah. Because I was just about to ask you about that. All right.
Yeah, I have to go shopping, man. Hey, I got much love and support for y'all, man. Let's see what E3 shows, man. Like they say, they're gonna bring the power. We're gonna see it, and like I say, time will reveal everything that is needed to be seen.
All right, Angel. Thanks for joining. We're not going to end the prediction episodes yet. Angel has to go. We thank you, Angel, for joining us.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Dave.
I guess when you get back in the house, if you want to chime back in on something
Yeah,
else, then give us a call back.
All right, man. You guys take it easy. Nice meeting y'all.
Love you too, bro.
Stay
All
here,
right, take it
Angel.
easy. Peace out, bro.
Peace out. All right. And also, everybody watching the chat, I apologize for the audio, but this is the way that I had to do it in order for Angel to be able to hear everybody and for everybody to be able to hear Angel. But what I'm about to do right now, I'm about to fix the audio real quick. And give me a second here. And then we're going
Hey,
to...
Fred, how do I find you? How do I find you on YouTube?
Just go to...
Something for the yo.
Yeah, it should be under Freddie. You should be a friend of ours on there.
Let's see here.
All right, I'm about to fix the audio so we can have some good audio in here.
You said Freddie Young
Yeah,
or Fred Young?
Freddie Young.
For the yo.
Freddie.
FRED.
Okay, gentlemen, say something.
Bubba.
All right. All right. Now,
Testing.
okay, there we go. All right, now we got better audio now.
Okay.
All right, are you able to see us now, Quest?
Yeah, I'm coming in now.
Oh, okay. All right. We lost Angel because Angel had to go do something. So we're back. We're still here with SOCOM Warrior. He's still playing Madden. He hasn't chimed in yet. We got my man Anton that he's playing Call of Duty with no damn microphone, bruh. Man, come on, man. I know you got a mic, dude. And I guess he's in game chat, but we still here with Quest and main man Mike C, the other half of the Gamer Show.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
it's picked up where we left off. Where do we end at?
Okay. Okay, we basically end up as far as saying the price point up for it, and that we really think Microsoft is going to live up to their to the predictions. We think they're going to be successful in what they're trying to promise us.
I just hope that I hope they do other stuff like implement like game share, because Sony has took off with that, man. It's good to be able to go to your friend and say, hey, well, look, you got that game, I don't have it, how is it? And he says, okay, well, it's great. Well, let me play it for a minute. But you live 1,000 miles away. You say, hey, well, look, I'll go ahead and let you play 60 minutes of it. And then, you know, if you like it, you can go out and buy it. Or you could just say, okay, all right, let's play some Madden or whatever. And you can share play, and both of y'all can play head-to-head competition. And the other guy does not even need the game. I think that's something that they have to implement with this new Xbox coming out as well to make it successful. And what else? Oh, the other thing, you know, I have the PS4 Pro. I have the Xbox S, and I do not have a 4K TV. Okay? Since, you know, both Microsoft and PlayStation lied about true 4K. Both of these systems are checkerboard, so they don't broadcast true 4K. Was it 20 something P, 2140 or whatever it is? They don't broadcast true 4K. They do the checkerboard system. So with these systems that I have just sitting here collecting dust, it's not getting me out to say, okay, I got to go get a 4K TV so I can see what this thing does. You know, Horizon Dawn, I would love to see that. Horizon Zero Dawn, I would love to see how that looks in true 4K. Gears of War 4, I would love to see how that actually looks in 4K. But with those two systems, it's not giving me urgency to go out to purchase a 4K. I need something that's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to miss Thanksgiving, and I'm going to go out here and stand in the line at 4 o'clock in the evening to pick up a 4K TV. I hope Microsoft does that with this system. Oh, did I lose y'all?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Quest, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. So I think we talked about Microsoft and nothing. Anybody else have anything else to say about Microsoft?
No, I think that's done.
Okay. Now let's skip to PlayStation 4.
Okay.
What do you think that PlayStation 4 is going to do this year?
Honestly, I think they're really going to basically show their heavy hitters like God of War. Okay, we might actually get an actual release date for that. They're going to show your Uncharted, the Legacy or whatever that is, you know, with the two females. That's going to get a release date. I think they already have that as far as coming out this year as well, too. As for Last of Us, that's not, I think that's far off, 2018, maybe the end of 2018. As far as I think they're just going to show us games. They're really not going to show us or dive into the system or the 4K and stuff like that. Just the games they've been hitting on, like the new Spider-Man and what's that? You know, their Destiny or whatever. So I really don't see nothing really as far as, you know, super magical or super really super excited. I am excited for God of War. Don't get me wrong, but it's been a long time for God of War. God of War was like the greatest freaking button smashing game there was, but I really think they're going to just show us basically games, man.
Well, one thing that I'd like to see from both consoles, from both Microsoft and Sony, is to put some excitement back into gaming again. I mean, one of the biggest problems right now is that we're getting these sequels that are endless sequels to sequels to sequels, instead of them taking chances and bringing out new IPs, that people can get excited about. I mean, it's the same old thing. Pull out a gun and shoot something. I mean, you know, or get in a car and drive it. It's the same thing over and over again, but repackaged. Yeah, but repackaged. You know, they need to step out and give, you know, do something different. Do something. I mean, just to give you an example of something that they said that would not work, that was going to fail big time, was Red Dead Redemption. They didn't think it was going to do very well. They didn't think it was going to do very well. But somebody went out and took a chance on it, and it's one of the best games that was ever made. You know, so you know, and there are a lot of examples of that, of new IPs that really took off. You know, gaming has got, everybody has, I mean, as far as gaming is concerned, even on the PC, has gotten kind of stale. And if they don't come out with things that really excite people, you know, you're going to always have hardcore gamers, but it's not growing. I mean, people are just, I mean, there's only so many times you're going to be able to play Call of Duty. I mean, it's, you know.
I know this is like it feels like you're playing the same game over and over again. Because even with this new Call of Duty, even with this new Call of Duty coming out, it feels like, what was that, Call of Duty 3? I mean, just looking at it, it feels like Call of Duty 3 to me. You know, so I don't know. You're right. It has gotten a little too mundane with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I believe Quest, you got turned off of first-person shooter games, right?
Not really. I enjoy them, but there's so many other things that can be done other than just first-person shooters. I mean, there are a lot of different things that can be done. I mean, they're going to have to start breaking out of the mold and, you know, showing a little bit more variety of games. You know, the Japanese have been pretty good about putting things out that are a little different. We're going to have to get a little bit better. I mean, I hate to see 20 years from now we're still just playing first-person shooters. I mean, that gives you a feeling of how, you know, monotonous it's gotten.
Right.
You know, and for most of us who've been in gaming for a long time, I mean, we have huge libraries of games, and you know, so many of them are so similar. It's unbelievable. You know,
right.
Yeah,
I agree with you totally.
That's why I wasn't such a big fan of like Halo, and I only really got, especially when I got those Halo games, I only really got them because, you know, everybody else in the clan had them. Quest, as far as like Fat Tony and Fixer and everybody else, but like when it came to my off time or games that I would really play, these were the games that I wasn't playing at all. And like you said, like Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, all these other first-person shooter games, Halo, it's the same game, but it's just wrapped in a different, you know, a different dress. It's like putting a lipstick on a pig. It's still going to be a pig if you put lipstick on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's nothing different. You see the gun in front of you, bang, you kill this person, you team up with this clan and capture the flag, and it's nothing different. You know, and I think like games like Horizon Zero Dawn, they broke the mold when they came out because that offered you something different. No Man's Skies. No Man's Skies is a horrible game. I don't know what the hell happened to that one, but that was supposed to be a different type of game, which if they would have kept their promises, that would have been an excellent game, but they just totally lied about that one. And there's so many.
They lied up and down about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And there's so many other games that these massive open world games. Like I'm glad that when they did Ghost Recon again, that they didn't make the first person shooter, because everybody knows that watches this channel, I stream nothing but Ghost Recon, and I love that game for what it is. how it plays
Did
out,
they get this one for a time?
tactical, your team, the team effort, and all that. I love how the way that they made that stand out because Ghost Recon was also a first person shooter, and they changed that up. But let me ask y'all this: if they changed up stuff like Rainbow Six, even though that's a first person shooter, I love the way that that game plays out. I haven't been back on that for a while because there's too many kids out there and they're like real disrespectful on there, and you know people just don't know how to play nicely on Rainbow Six. A lot of immature people gave Rainbow Six such a bad name, and but do you think if they switched up a lot of these franchises like Call of Duty and Medal of Honor and not Ghost Recon, but if they switched it up to make it something to what Ghost Recon turned out to be, do you think that that would give a different perspective on first-person shooters?
Well, I think we're all, as gamers, we all are looking for that magic game, that magic thing where you just lose all track of time and you're just in this world and you're there. And lately, we haven't really had that. I mean, we haven't really had a lot of that. And I'd like to see that type of immersion again. I mean, there were times back, say, with the Super Nintendo, or I mean, I remember when Sky Fox came out. Man, I was really excited about that game many years ago. But you know, it's just not that way anymore. I mean, it's just not that way anymore, and that's the reason why I said that gaming has become a little stale. Yeah. And we need to have some variety. And hopefully, the new consoles, the new machines will enable that to happen. You know. So we'll see.
I think Sony is going to bring out something else. I think they're going to tease us with their next console because you got to admit, guys, that Sony really dropped the ball bringing out this PlayStation Pro. To me, it's not a pro gaming machine. It's just like with Apple.
Look, PlayStation Pro reminds you of the 32X, a console that should never been invented.
Yeah. It's the same thing like what Apple did with when they brought out their new Mac Pros, when they brought out that little trash can that really wasn't a Pro series, and now they brought out an iMac Pro that is not upgradable. You can't upgrade the GPU. I think that they just failed tremendously, and with the rumor mill going on with the PlayStation 5 supposed to be coming out, I think that they just might say, okay, well, look, we messed up, and we're going to make the consumers pay for our mistake, and we're going to bring out this system. We're going to probably show a better PlayStation VR, and we're probably going to show out another PlayStation that has the Blu-ray HDR player in it or whatever. I think that they're going to show or tease us with another system. That's what I believe.
Well, there is another system coming out, I believe, in 2018.
That's what they said.
I think they're gonna tease us with that because they have to. They cannot. Everybody is saying that Sony is winning this war. It can't. It cannot because they. With the TVs that you have to buy now, of course, you know there are two different type of HD. Was it 4K TVs? There's one that has the high dynamic range, and then there's the HDR, right? Yeah. So yeah, I've seen plenty of videos with people going out to buy 4K TVs, and either the PlayStation or the Xbox One was not compatible with that television.
Yep.
And that. I think that turned a lot of people off because you go get a 4K TV and you go into places like, and I hate to say, no offense to people like in Walmart and stuff like that, and you go to them and say, okay, hey, I need a 4K TV so I can play my Xbox or so I can play my PlayStation, they're going to automatically tell you, yeah, it's 4K, you have to play your TV. And they have no sense of what's in that box. They're just going off what's on that little sticker that says, okay, this is a 4K TV. And then when you get it home, your system is not compatible with this, and then you're like, damn. Yeah, wow. And then you have so many, if you wait so many days to hook this TV up, if you have it set in a box and you're like doing a big gaming room down in the basement and you finally wait like 30 days afterwards to open up this TV and put it on the wall, and then it comes to find out your system that you brought is not compatible with this particular model of a 4K TV. Plenty of people get pissed off, and I think that's what turning people off on buying 4K TVs and even upgrading to the Xbox Pro or the Xbox S. I think that's what's turning people off.
Well, it's never good when that type of thing happens. I mean, it was even the same type of situation with 3D glasses. I mean, they were so expensive and they weren't universally compatible. The same thing with TVs. If they're not universally compatible, that's a real problem. It's a real problem, and that's going to have to be fixed.
And as the consumers, we pay for their mistakes, because you're going to have to buy, as it sits now, if you want to play your PlayStation Pro and you want to play your Xbox S, you're going to have to buy 2 different TVs in order to be able to, both of them to read that signal. Because one TV is not going to read both Xbox and PlayStation. You're going to have to get separate TVs. So that's something that they're going to have to work out. They're going to have to fix that with these next generation consoles. Because the PS4 Pro, in my opinion, that was a mistake. They shouldn't have never brought it out. How are you going to call it the Pro when it still has the same processor in there? The only thing you did was overclock it, and then you made it look like a cheeseburger. And, just what more did you do to this system to call it a Pro? I don't know. Did you ever get the Xbox S, or did you upgrade to the Pro Quest?
No.
So you still have your day one Xbox?
I really didn't see any reason to, because just like you, I don't have a 4K television, and I wasn't ready to make that leap yet until I really saw something or wanted to do something. With the PC, I mean, you guys know, PC graphics are off the chain. I mean, at this point, I have no need to go out and get a higher resolution television.
No.
Just don't. Now, that will probably change as things get better. But to go out there and be an early adopters always pay a lot more money than what they would if they wait.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the quality of the product isn't as good as when it becomes mainstream.
And we suffer for that. We really suffer for that, because, these launch games, they're just test marketing of what the system can do. But you would like to be able to see the quality of these games that they show at E3. You would like to go home and play Forza, the next Forza, and see the true textures of the car and them being in 4K. But not everybody can go out and say, okay, look, I'm gonna drop this on the 4K TV. Not everybody got it like that.
What?
It was hell when 1080p was introduced. A lot of people still had analog TVs. Not everybody had a TV with an HDMI port on it. And I remember my first TV with an HDMI port on it. I got it from Quest. I bought it from Quest, matter of fact. That was the first.
Let me tell you something. I remember when HD televisions first came out, and to get a little 32-inch television with and you have to understand in the early stages of these LED televisions, you didn't get any dark backgrounds. I mean, it was your black was gray always.
Right.
And that television, when it first came out for a 32-inch television, you were probably talking about $3,000.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I mean, it was crazy expensive, you know. So it's always best for this type of technology to wait a little bit and wait until it becomes a little bit more mainstream before you go out and make the leap. On top of that, other than YouTube, there's not really a whole lot of 4K content other than 4K Blu-ray discs.
Right.
And those, you know, you got to pay more than what you would for a regular Blu-ray. So, you know, why?
I think
you know, it's.
Go ahead, Quest.
I mean, just like you guys have found out that you're disappointed with these upgrades on these consoles, you know, the problem is that early adopters always take that risk. You know, it's best to really wait for a little bit until something, unless you already know I've got to have it and it's great, it's best to wait. And I'm a poet and I don't know it.
Now I know Mike was the first one to trade his Xbox in to get an Xbox S, and he.
And you know why I really traded it in? Because the Xbox, honestly, it was gigantic. Okay, and I didn't have a lot of space. And I'm like, okay, and plus it read the claims that it running quieter and all that, which was. That's the problem I had with my PlayStation before now. It sounds like an aircraft carrier now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with it right now, but it sounds like an aircraft carrier now. And I'm like, good gracious. That gets annoying after a while. We keep hearing it. You're playing your long games. I'm like, come on. And that's why I traded in my Xbox my Xbox One for the One S and everything. All that extra sound, just got tired of all it. I had too much stuff making too much noises while I'm playing the game. I'm like, nah, get rid of it. But I enjoyed the S1, you know what I'm saying? It runs better, it runs quieter, so I haven't had no problems. That's why I traded it in. Plus, I had great credit and everything as far as the other games and stuff I traded in. So I paid next to nothing to get this thing as far as what I had. So I wasn't mad at it.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. If you're happy with what you have, it's worth it. But the real problem is when you buy something and you get disappointed, and you figure that you've paid too much or you've gotten ripped off. That's when things kind of go south.
Yep.
And
I've been burned by some consoles.
and we're totally left out of the loop, man, because these games with these patches and this 4K resolution, we're not able to, me and Mike are not able to see it because Mike doesn't have a 4K TV and neither do I. So he has an S, I have an S, I have a Pro. I'm not able to see stuff in true like 4K. So it's not doing nothing. It's not getting me excited to go out here and say, okay, I need to go out and get a 4K TV. Nothing that I have is saying that I need to go out and get a 4K TV. You know, I don't know if you know this on that Quest, but I had built one PC because I wanted to run the HTC Vive. But I wound up building 3 PCs, and I just upgraded my GPU to a 1080 GTX with I think it's 6 gigs of RAM on it, and I put that in my gaming PC, and I put the Vive to it. And it looks excellent, man. The 3D looks better than what I had on the other card. My other card was a 970, I believe. But I upgraded to a 1080, and it looks wonderful. Now, every time we do a review on the game, I always say it always looks better on PC. And that is the fact. Even I play my PC games on my Sony PlayStation 3D TV, and that's not 4K. I believe that's 1080p. I don't know if that's 60 frames, but it looks a whole hell of a lot better than when I put it on my big screen LG 3D TV, which I haven't even got my money's worth out of that one yet. Because now I'm looking, I got to buy a 4K TV now. But these consoles, man, is hyping people up, and you're saying, okay, you're only gonna pay $400 or $500 for these consoles, but you have to figure in that you have to add more money to that if you want to be able to see the best content out of your game. Now, I know we already stopped talking about the Xbox, but we just keep going back and forth because we're talking about the PlayStation right now. For those of you who think about upgrading to the PlayStation 4 Pro, so it's supposed to be, it doesn't just cost the $249 or however much it costs now. You have to add an additional $2,000 in order to get the full capability out of that machine, supposedly, since it's checkerboard in 4K. And to me, that's like buying a Ferrari. Buying a PlayStation 4 is like buying a Ferrari, and you work at the 7-Eleven that's right across the street from your house, and you just take that Ferrari to go out of your driveway, stop at the light, cross the light, and then bam, you at work. That's what the PlayStation 4 to me is. You know what I'm saying? It's overkill for nothing. So that's how I view it, man. It's nothing to. The PlayStation 4 Pro has not got me excited enough to go out and buy a 4K TV. And honestly, the only reason why I got the Pro was because it was a good deal at that time, and the ability to put external hard drive on it so I can store my games on it. Because I hate the fact that I have to keep taking games off of. Even though I upgraded the internal hard drive, I have to keep deleting games just in order to put new games on. And to this day, honestly, I have not plugged up the Pro or the S yet. I did plug up the S yet to watch a 4K movie, and that was it. That's the only time that I ran the S. The Pro, I haven't even turned that thing on yet, man.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it about the PlayStation. Let's move over to Nintendo. Now, Nintendo has already came out with their Switch, but are they going to come out with something else at E3? Mike, what are your thoughts on the Switch? I wish we had Ty here. I wish we had Ty here.
Well, I love the Switch, you know what I'm saying? Because I kind of had a feeling what the Switch was actually going to be. It's basically a portable gaming device. That's what it basically is. You can actually take a full game out with you, and you carry it around. You can do little bite-sized sessions if you want, and it's just convenient. As far as the Switch, I think they're going to, of course, they're going to give us Mario. They might give us something new that a lot of the Nintendo heads want. But as far as, I think they're just going to, I hope that they still get these other third parties to come up in on the Switch. But you got to realize with these third parties, because some of them, you know, being artists that they are, they want a console to be played how they envision it being played. But as far as the Switch and its capabilities, I don't know if they'll be able to support all these third parties, and that's why I think the Wii U and all that stuff died out, because their ability to support these third parties. So, of the Switch, I hope they just come up with some good Switch games for it, man, to really appreciate the console that you do have for that. As far as the Switch, I love it. I play it all the time. If not every other day, playing Zelda or something like that. And the Switch been good to me.
All right. The Switch, I hope Nintendo brings out something that will make it more appealing to video game developers. Now, we all know that the Switch has a USB-C type port on it, and it has a couple of USB 2.0s on it. And one of the things that I predicted was maybe they can do an external GPU because they have the the USB-C type, and that has enough thread to get true 1080p 60 frames per second. Because right now it stands locked at 720p at 30 frames,
20p.
because that's
Mhm.
it has to up when you put it in the dock, then you upscale it to 1080p. But the base is
Not
720.
1080, 900.
Oh, not 900. I keep
900.
I
Yep.
keep forgetting that. But video
Mhm.
game developers, they are like, well, why should I create a game, something like Watch Dogs or GTA? Why should I create two sets of games? Because I have to create this game, and then I have to code it for lower resolution, and it's not going to look as sharp as the ones that's on the Xbox or the PlayStation. And self advertising and self promotion is the thing. People see this on a Switch and they're playing this at 720 and they're looking at the game like, well, the game doesn't look good. I don't want that. And they'll move on to the next game just because they saw it on the Switch. I think the Switch is an underdog. I believe it has more power than what is producing out now with that USB-C type connection and that USB 3.0 connection. I do believe that they can create some peripheral that will give it a better external GPU, so game developers can hop onto that, so they can get the power, so they can put their stuff out even if in 4K if they need to. With the launch of the Switch, I think it was one of the most terrible launches of any video game console, especially with that ridiculous chat thing that Splatoon is coming out with, and not having the games to make you want to go out there and buy the Switch. Now, as a Nintendo fan, as I was growing up, I always loved Nintendo. I think Nintendo was the best console out of all the consoles that was out at that period of time that they were up against. But now you're competing with the big boys. Now you're competing with the PC, which they can't even hold a candle to that. And you're competing with the Xbox and the PlayStation. And with that, to me, it just didn't have the bells and whistles. Now, for a portable game system, it's cool all day long. But for a guy like me, the only time that I brought my Switch out was when we went to Eric's house. Other than that, it just stays in the dock. So I don't really have a need to bring
Crazy,
it.
Fred.
I don't really have a need to bring it out. And Zelda, to me, if I didn't have the means to get it at that point in time, and I was saying, okay, Zelda is the game that I want Zelda. Well, damn, the Zelda is coming out on the Wii U, so I'll just wait for that. Because if I'm not the type of person that takes my game systems out, then why should I buy the Switch? If I wanted Super Mario Brothers Super Mario Maker, they have that now on the 3DS. I have a 3DS. I'll just get that, and that would be my portable gaming system. So it wasn't anything that the Switch brought out that they had that was like, okay, I got to get this gaming system. And I think it was a horrible launch. Whenever you have more peripherals than you have games that came out, like you had 50 peripherals and 4 games that you could have brought. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like I said, it was the worst launch. That's what I'm expecting for Nintendo, to bring out something to increase the graphical capability on that. Go ahead, Switch. Damn. Go ahead, Quest.
Switch.
Yeah. Well, I think the Switch is geared for younger, even though, and single-player games mostly. The chat debacle is noteworthy. I mean, I just don't know with community gaming how they're going to make that work, where you have to incorporate a cell phone. That absolutely kind of sucks. So, you're really going to be limited pretty much to single-player games. So,
What the hell?
Yeah, with
but for right now, it's very popular. What happens is that Nintendo always, puts as little consoles on the market as they possibly can to up demand,
supply and demand.
where it's very
Yeah.
hard. And that kind of sucks too, because people you know, they got to just have one because they can't get one. And then when they get it, they figure out it's not all that great.
Yeah, you know that as far as the little mini Nintendos that they had, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I was like, wow. And those were awesome, you know what I'm saying, for what they offered.
oh yeah. I mean, Nintendo's very, very savvy when it comes to hyping up demand.
And what else? Yeah, Nintendo. I think that they're the underdog. Like I said, they're the underdog of this year's console. But if they don't bring out some type of peripheral that boosts up this GPU, man, I think that they're going to be lost in the dust. Like you said, that this game chat thing, it is ridiculous. To date, 2017, you come on, Nintendo. What are you thinking? You have to have your cell phone as a means to communicate to other players, and you have to have that 3/4 inch jack. And what about people that has the iPhone 7? iPhone 7 does not have the earphone jack in it anymore, so that's another adapter. And then to do that, if your cell phone is dying, you're gonna have to put another adapter on top of that. You're gonna have to have some type of dongle that allows you to plug it up and to have the jack in it. So I mean, I don't know.
You're gonna look like Doc. You're gonna look like Doc Ock in Spider-Man.
I think Samsung, some of the Samsung phones only have the USB-C type port, so they don't have an earphone jack in it. What was Nintendo thinking of about this, man?
You're right.
So you're gonna have to have all these wires just to communicate with somebody. What a debacle! Who thought that was a good idea?
Well, here's the other part. If the consumers really demand multiplayer, those people who just bought these new Nintendo Switches just got screwed in the chat department because they'll probably improve it and fix it later on down the road. But right now, you're pretty much stuck with their people.
Somebody got a vacuum cleaner in the background.
No,
Not
this
me.
It's the mixer. Sorry about that.
So yeah, I think the Switch has the capability to implement voice chat because it had. I don't know if the Joy-Cons are Bluetooth connected or if they're RF connected, but I don't know if it has a Bluetooth radio inside of it because that would solve the problem. If you have a Bluetooth radio, you can hook up. Only thing you have to do is just put some type of software in it, and bam, and that's your chat for the Switch. But if it doesn't have Bluetooth in it, which I have not seen Bluetooth in the Switch yet, then it's going to be a big problem. And then if they come out with a Switch version 2, I think that is going to throw a lot of consumers off because all the Nintendo fans, we forgave them for the Wii. We forgave him for the Wii U. Some of us forgave him for bringing out the Nintendo Classic in short spurts. And now with this other console that came out, now you're going to come out with a version 2, if that's possible. That I think that's going to turn a lot of people. I think that would be the death of the Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo's always been very popular, especially with the younger audience. You know, their 3DS and 2DSs are very popular still. I don't think they're going anywhere. Nintendo has been that way.
You're going in and out, Quest.
Yeah.
Now, try not to-
Hello?
Hopefully we didn't lose him. Yeah, he's trying to work the mic situation out. But yeah, if they don't get it together, I think that Nintendo is going to be left behind. Um, I think a lot of people just like Nintendo because of, with the Mario Odyssey, and I think that they're pushing that back because they're trying to steal people interested in getting the Switch. Because with you not being able to chat, especially when Splatoon drops, when people see how Splatoon drops in a couple of weeks, when that drops, and then people see how ridiculous it is, all these cables that you have to do, especially when people just upgraded from their iPhone 6 Plus to an iPhone 7, and then they have to find out that they have to get all these additional adapters to play or to communicate with people. I think that they are going to be real turned up, and people that have the Galaxy phones that don't have the earphone jacks in it, and they have to get additional hardware, and you have all these cables running around. People are going to get pissed off, man. And they're like, why I gotta do this when I can just, plug it up into the earphone jack on the Switch? Because the Switch has an earphone jack. How come I can't communicate that way? Yeah, we still can't hear you, Quest.
No, I'm still here. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
You should be able to hear me.
Okay. Now you're back.
Well, here's the thing. Nintendo has always made a point that whatever hardware they put out, they make a profit on. It's not like Sony or Microsoft. They'll put out a console and lose money on the console, but make it up in the software. Well, Nintendo doesn't do that. So they try to make these consoles as inexpensive as possible. So that's probably one of the reasons why you don't have the voice chat capabilities right now in that machine.
Yeah, I just think that they need somebody new and fresh in marketing, because whoever gave them that idea to say, okay, let's not put voice chat on the Switch, even though you have an earphone jack in there. Let's not put the internet browser on that right away, because there's a back door that you can go into on the Switch to get online, but it's not useful at all. You can go to a page, but then that's it. You can go to a Google page. You can't do searches or anything. It won't allow you to do that. You could just go directly to a Google page. That's it. But they need somebody in there, because this guy is still thinking of like family oriented games. Like for instance, like when we started doing the gamer show, my thought process was family sitting in front of the TV, which I'm saying family sitting in front of the LCD screen of the computer watching the gamer show. And that's why our first episodes were like 30 minutes. I think we only had one 30-minute episode. And then I looked at the algorithms and I was like, man, people are not watching the show because it's too long. Then I'm thinking, well, the game show is more for people on the go. You watch it while you're on your way to work, and you got 10 minutes, 10 minutes time limit, expand time, and then that's it. If I don't get you in that first 10 minutes, I'm not going to get you at all. But there needs to be somebody to go in there and tell them, hey, look, you need to keep up with the times. We need some hardcore games in here. We need to develop a system where developers want to be able to work on that. Not putting out one game and say, okay, well, look, it's sink or swim. We're going to see how you do on this one. Because that's what they're doing with Street Fighter. Capcom put the game out and they're saying, okay, depending on how successful this game is depending on what we're going to do. Are we going to continue working with you any further to bring you any other IPs to the Switch? And I love the Switch. I love being able to have my joysticks separated, and be able to, play that way. I don't have to have my hands together. And sometimes it's comfortable to lay down like that. You have one hand behind your head, propping your head up, and you may have another hand on your stomach, and you're still able to play the game that way. That is a inventive thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Nintendo has always been inventive, the way that they bring out stuff, but they just need some fresh blood in there, man.
Well, the whole thing is that we crave new adventures. We crave new ways of playing. We're all seeking that magic moment when we're in a game, like I said before, and it just takes us away from everything.
And I will hope not everybody's on board with VR, but Nintendo, the rumor mills are going around there saying that they do have some type of peripheral that allows the Nintendo Switch to have their own VR headset. I hope that Nintendo showcases that at E3. I hope they bring something out, because they're gonna have to make people forget about this Splatoon debacle, man. That's gonna turn a lot of people off. That's gonna turn a lot of people off. And I don't know, man. So I guess we talked. Anybody else got anything to say about the Switch?
Nope, I think you hit enough on the Switch.
Okay, and I don't want people to think that I'm hating on the Switch, because
yeah, you hit the Switch. We know.
I like my Switch. I like my Switch. I just don't take it out as much as everybody else. It still stays. It has a little bit of dust on it, though. I take care of it. I wipe it off.
A lot of dust. I've been over there the other day. It has a lot of dust on it.
Oh man, come on! They need to come out with some more games. All right, so we talked about the Nintendo Switch. We just got finished talking about that. We first started talking about the Xbox Scorpio, and after that, we were talking about the PlayStation. So let's talk about some of these developers.
Ubisoft. Let's talk about
Ubisoft. Let me go first on this one.
Go ahead, brother.
Ubisoft, whatever your name is, man, I hope that they come out with something else. I hope they come out with bring back a franchise. I hope that they bring back Splinter Cell. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they might show a Splinter Cell trailer for an upcoming game. Although if they show the trailer for the game, we know we're not going to get it for 5 more years down the road. But hopefully they show something with that. Hopefully they show an expansion with Ghost Recon. The world is pretty big. Let me tell you that. That world is humongous. That's an open source, the sandbox game is a humongous world on that. I hope they bring out an additional DLC that will make the world even bigger. I hope they do something about Rainbow Six to bring people back to that game. Like a lot of people steered away from it because there was a lot of immaturity on that one. And, they're going to bring some Assassin's Creed game, although I honestly never beaten any of their Assassin's Creed games.
You're terrible.
I have all of them, but never beat them. Never beat. What was that? Black Flag? I'm still on the ship.
Black Flag, bro.
I'm still on the ship.
The whole
bro.
game is about the ship.
Oh, well, I'm still in the basement of the ship. That's where I'm at. I haven't even came to the poop deck yet. I'm still under. I'm in the basement. I just hope, and probably maybe another Watch Dogs, and I just hope that Ubisoft, whatever they call, I hope that they show true gaming this time. They don't do deceptive practices, showing us what it looks like on a high-end PC. I want to see what this game looks like on the current consoles that we have now. Don't give me Although I'm able to run that now, but other people aren't able to do that. Don't show me something that's running 4K and 60 frames per second when it comes out on the console. It's melted down to 1080p with 30 frames per second, and we get that. Oh, they did another Watch Dogs. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that they don't do that. But I hope that they. My biggest thing is I hope they bring back Splinter Cell, and I hope that they create another map for Ghost Recon. Quest or
I really remember the days when Ghost Recon was. I mean, you really felt like you were in that game in the old days.
Mhm.
I mean, you get pinned down, people are shooting at you, you don't see where they're shooting at you from. I mean, it was pretty amazing in the early days, even though the graphics were pretty simplistic. It was neat.
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know.
Fred. Did we lose Fred?
Fred!
Okay.
Sounds like we might have lost him.
How do we lose the original guy?
I don't know.
Let me see. He must have fell asleep. You know, once you talk about Ubisoft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just heard the door shut. Let me see about giving him a call.
Okay.
and
Here
Okay,
he
there
is.
you go. What happened, man? Where'd you go?
oh, I had to go get something to drink real quick. I had to take a
Okay.
bath.
It just got dead silent. You talking about Ubisoft? Okay. So you said your little gripes and everything about Ubisoft. I think I like that they didn't release another Assassin's Creed this past year. I think they needed another year to go ahead and put something good together. So hopefully this Assassin's Creed is going to be different from what it was before. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing exactly what that more time, what were they able to do? Because you got to look back at it. The last best Assassin's Creed was Black Flag. Black Flag was awesome. I really enjoyed that. That was just a great game.
Is that the one with the ship?
Yes, that's the one with the ship that you didn't beat yet. Yes, that's that one. So that was like by far that was the best Assassin's Creed that they came with up to date. So hopefully this new one, it looked like you're sitting in Egypt, and it looks, as far as the screenshots and the stills, look like it's really going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to this. Games like The Division or whatever, it was good at the time and what it promised. You know, as far as that, you know, the effects. I think I liked how it looked before. You remember the high quality screenshot that they showed us and everything pre E3 and all that good stuff.
The Watch
And
Dogs
that's,
effect.
that's one thing. Man, yeah, the Watch Dogs effect. Man, I wish they would just show us a game how it was running. I think they did that with as far as Watch Dogs 2. I think we actually got the game that they actually performed up on there, which I appreciate them for doing that, because we really felt ripped off and lied to when we saw Watch Dogs. And like, hold up, this game does not look like that game it did before,
No.
you know. So hopefully they learn from the mistake, and hopefully that, like I said, with this with Assassin's Creed, I hope it's going to be great. I think they might show us something new as well too, a new IP coming from Ubisoft, because it's time for us to see something new and different as far as from Ubisoft. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, whose Days Gone
That's
by?
about it.
Whose Days Gone?
Days Gone is by. Hold on 1 second. I think that's all PlayStation, bro.
That's PlayStation.
Hold on 1 second. I'm about to check it out. So that's a PlayStation exclusive.
Quest, did you give your opinion on Ubisoft?
No, we're waiting for you.
Oh, go ahead, Quest.
It is Quest. He must have went and got something to drink too. Days Gone is SIE Bend Studio. So this is in Oregon. So this is a stateside studio, and it was founded in 1993. So they've been around for a while.
Okay, there we got Quest
Bend
back.
Studio.
Quest.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back now.
You must have got something to drink too, huh?
No, what happened was I have my wireless PlayStation headset, and I was charging it. It's fully charged now. Now I can hear you guys good, and I hope you can hear me good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you sound good. What's up?
All right. Your opinion on your predictions, let's say, with Ubisoft.
Well, Ubisoft has always been a good company. EA has been trying to absorb Ubisoft. I hope Ubisoft can stay independent. They do have some great old IPs, as you were saying before, and it'd be nice to play those. But I'm looking forward to some new stuff, some stuff that we've never seen before. You know.
That's what I was talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to play some of these older games and play the new versions of them. But to be honest with you, when you get a new IP that's just off the hook, you know, it's really magical. It really is.
Yeah, I'm totally done with the remastered versions of older games. I'm just sick of that. I'm done with that. I've played them before. Sony's bringing back a couple of their games that was on the original PlayStation, and they do have better graphics, but we're just playing the same game all over again with better graphics. And I totally agree with both of y'all. Hopefully they bring out new IPs, but if they don't, some of the IPs that we've loved and lost. Splinter Cell was a comparison to Metal Gear. If they did something to Splinter Cell and made it like an open world platform, like what was the last game that came out with Splinter Cell? Blacklist, right?
Yeah.
Blacklist was the last game, and that game was
Hold
awesome.
Hold up. No, there was another one. I thought it was another Splinter Cell.
No,
I can't think of the last one.
I think Blacklist was the last one. Because I know Double Agent came out before Blacklist, right?
Yeah.
And what was the one that came with the remote control airplane? That was Blacklist.
The Blacklist was that the one where you had the writing on the walls that said enter slowly or something like that? You know, was that Blacklist? But it like changed it up a little bit.
I don't know. All I remember is
I think that was Blacklist though.
All their missions were done from the plane. And then they would drop him, to wherever he had to go do the mission at.
Hold on a second. So we got the internet. Hold on.
But hopefully they come out with a new IP, man. But who's to say what
Blacklist was the last one.
Who's to say what Ubisoft do? Because I think that they practice a lot of deceptive things where they bring games out on engines that are totally ridiculous, and then we get the games and like, hey, look, this isn't what we brought in for. I hope that's not the case.
All right. Old Ubisoft. Is that it about Ubisoft? That was kind of short.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be a longer conversation.
Let's talk about EA.
Okay. Fred?
Somebody. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think EA is some garbage. Let me just throw that out there. The Madden franchise is garbage. Madden is the same game every year. It's only DLC. They rip people off tremendously with every Madden game that comes out because it totally looks the same. They'll take away one feature from last year, and then they'll bring it back the year
When
after
they recycle it, yep.
that. The graphics are still the same. There's no improvement in it, and I believe the reason why that they treat Madden like they do is because it doesn't have any type of competitors. It doesn't have 2K anymore, which 2K to me was a better is a better sports franchise. They're better the 2K Lives, the 2K footballs, and even the wrestling games look so much better with 2K. EA, FIFA, I'm not into soccer. A lot of people are. It's just not my cup of tea. It just looks like a whole bunch of dressed up ants running around because that's the view that they give you above, you know what I'm saying? And it's just not for me. The NBA Live, they have decreased in value. Everybody used to love NBA Live. Everybody used to talk about it. But the last two NBA Lives that they brought out was total garbage. Then Need for Speed is an EA sports game, right?
Yeah. And the last couple of Need for Speed's been the same. But the other Need for Speed was some garbage. The very last one. And even with this new one coming out,
Yeah.
I'm not excited about that either. It just looked like a watered down Most Wanted.
So EA has not produced anything that that was mind blowing even this year. I mean, Battlefield 1, it was okay. Titanfall 2, yeah, it was okay, but you know, like Quest said earlier when we were talking about the Xbox One, it's still a first-person shooter. No matter how you dress it up, it's still a first-person shooter. It just has a different skin. Was it Battlefront? Battlefront 2. It's still a first-person shooter. It's nothing different. Open world first-person shooter. What are you going to bring to the table besides first-person shooters and IPs that you have like totally ruined? And their biggest franchise. I mean, everybody gets it. Madden. You know, the day Madden comes out, there you do not get good customer service nowhere that you go because everybody called out sick so they can stay home and play Madden. Or, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But the way that they just EA to me has just gone downhill, man. They were at the top of the mountain at one point. I think their heyday was back with Super Nintendo and some of the PlayStation, maybe PlayStation 2. But this new generation console, I think they just fell off to me. So I'm not expecting anything exciting coming from EA. Somebody else take it.
Well, I think that EA is. I think that they can do really well when they're not grabbing for money. The problem is, I don't know if you guys have had the chance to look at Battlefront 2, but it looks incredible. It really does.
What?
I mean, it really looks unbelievable. But still, I mean, EA is when you put money before serving your customers, that's a real problem.
Yep.
You know, people will come back. People don't mind spending money, But when they feel cheated or they feel that you're taking advantage, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real problem.
Mike.
Okay, with EA, I'm excited about the new Shadow of Mordor, because that was a great game. It was a nice IP as far as for what it was at the time.
It was. And it came out of nowhere, Mike. It really
did. It was one of those sleepers that you didn't think it was going to be that good, because I think far as what they showed really didn't give it justice on what you could do up in that game, because I was surprised of how massive the actual world was, because when I first started, I played a little section of it. I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm about to beat this game. Then I'll go through this cave and everything. There's a whole brand new world. I'm like, wow, I have a lot more stuff to do. So I love games like that show you a surprise like that. So they need to just keep in that realm of what they do as far as surprise and shock and awe us, and bring us into that world. But like you said, they need to step it up. We need another as far as somebody else that does sports, so they can elevate their game as far as with these football games and basketball games and stuff like that. They just need something different.
EA eliminated the competition when they bought the license.
And that's what really hurt, because they basically says, okay, we keep giving them the same old stuff, like he was talking about. They're about money, keep giving the same stuff. What we had to think about for let's do something from 2 years ago or 3 years ago and put it back on there and say it's a new feature.
Yeah. Just recycling the same thing over and over again.
That makes my stomach turn with EA though. But granted, there are some good franchises, but man, I really don't see too much coming from them unless they introduce something brand new.
Yeah.
And we really don't know.
I do believe EA had a press conference today. Now, we're just going on. Yeah, they did have a press conference today. So those of you who are watching this, I don't know what happened with E3 conference. I'm seeing a jacket right here that has something to do with Star Wars. So I don't know. Maybe they did something great. I'm just my relationship with EA Sports is just I'm just done. The honeymoon stage is over with, because they're not bringing out anything that I continuously play. When Battlefront came out, when we did that review on it, we did a review on the beta. And I thought that Battlefront, that snow, the footprints in the snow and the texture of the snow, I thought that looked like absolutely marvelous. I thought that was great.
Man, that looked great. But when we actually got the actual game version of it, they changed a lot of stuff. Just a heads up, I did receive something from EA. Star Wars Battlefront 2 DLC is 100% free.
Okay, well,
so
that would be great, but what's the catch?
Yeah, it has to be some type of catch.
What's the catch?
Because this is just what I just see right now. This is courtesy of GameSpot. It said Star Wars Battlefront 2 DLC 100% free.
Oh, and for our viewers, if you're watching this, if you watch the conference for Xbox tomorrow, if you're watching it on Mixer, they're saying that they're supposed to be giving you some free games. So if you watch the E3 footage tomorrow of the Scorpio, whatever it's going to be called, they're going to do something where they're giving you some free game. I don't know what that catch is, but watch it on Mixer if you're going to watch it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it. I'll catch the telltale end of it when I get back in, because I got to go out and do something early that day, and that it starts at 2 o'clock. I believe tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But back to the what were we talking about? EA, yeah. But EA, nothing. We have to watch what they did. But I haven't seen. I don't think any of you guys have seen the conference yet either.
No, not yet. I just see some type of footage about it that's shown online, but.
So apparently it was an hour and some change long. I'm looking at the jacket now. But so E3 is it's nothing. I can do without watching that conference, honestly. But just to see what they're gonna bring out, because they don't have, honestly, they don't have any IPs that I'm really interested in playing. You know, Madden, I could do without it. Battlefront, you know, I can do without it. I won't. I will get it just to do the review on it, but long term playing it, you know, probably not.
Yeah, and what's that? The Need for Speed. I really, like I said, the last Need for Speed, I wasn't all that great about. So it is what it is, brother. Same old, same old.
Yeah, we just need some good stuff. You know, and we'll pay for it. I mean, that's the whole thing. Gamers will pay for good games. There's no question about that.
That's right.
Right. The problem is when, you know, it's a cash grab, you know, we have problems with that.
And I think that's the only two big names, Ubisoft and EA. Oh, Bethesda. Let's talk about what Bethesda you think that might come out of that. Bethesda, we know, has Wolfenstein. It has The Evil Within. Hopefully, we will see an Evil Within 2.
For those who haven't beat Evil Within 1.
If you can see me raising my hand, that's what I'm doing.
well, you're not alone. Look, Fred, you're not alone with that Evil Within 1, man. Because I haven't beat that myself, so I can toss my hand up, too. But awesome game, though, man. I just got to say, it's an awesome game, man. I really enjoyed playing with it, but I fell away from it because other stuff kept coming out. So
yeah,
and that's the thing with some of these games, man.
I'm gonna use that excuse because alongside of, I can only play them type of games if somebody is in the house or it's daylight outside and I can hear some noise. Other than that, like if I'm in here by myself and the lights out, I can't play that. But let's move on. But yeah, hopefully they come out with a new Evil Within, because that was a pretty good game, man. So far as like what I played, you know. I don't know what other stuff. Does Bethesda do Fallout?
Yes, Bethesda does Fallout.
Okay. Well, I'm not really a Fallout fan, so I can do without that. I'm just hoping to see some new titles from Fallout. I'm especially hoping that they come out with the part 2 of Evil Within. Though we might get it 4 years from now, but it would be nice to see them working on it. And I think we skipped over Spider-Man. Spider-Man is by EA or is it by another developer?
Hold on. That's a good question.
While he's searching that, Quest, what do you think about Bethesda?
Well, you know, they've come out with some good franchises, you know, but I haven't really seen anything new from them. It's the same stuff over and over again. You know?
I think Doom is a Bethesda game as well.
Yeah, I believe
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because that has to be a
Wolfenstein. Spider-Man is coming out from Insomniac. You know Insomniac far as with what's that? Come on, I know you're talking about Cole and all that. What's that? God damn it! Why can't I think of it?
Some PlayStation game.
Infamous. So Insomniac is really good with coming out games like that. I was about to say Jack and Dexter, but that's Naughty Dog. But Infamous, I loved all the Infamous games, man. Even this last one, Second Son, I thought that was pretty good. So Insomniac makes some great games, man, and I think they got a good developer coming out with that. But yeah, that's basically it. That's the only other big name that should be bringing some noise. But I hope we see an Infamous from Insomniac. So I can't wait for something like that.
Oh, we didn't talk about Rockstar either. Rockstar.
Oh well, you know, Rockstar just put up what's called is going to be coming out next year now. Red Dead Redemption.
Let's hope, because they pushed that back.
Yeah, but the thing you can say about Rockstar, they always push games back for a reason, and then we appreciate it more better. So look at Grand Theft Auto 5. Awesome game. That's actually the first Grand Theft Auto I played from start to finish. And I was just blown away as far as how you can piggyback or switch between different characters up on the game. I thought that was revolutionary, even as far as just how they do the camera angles and stuff. As far as they draw you out all the way to the map, switch you over, then you inside the game somewhere else while the other person's story is going on. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was like the coolest thing ever. I really, really loved that game. I bought it on the PlayStation 3 and on the PlayStation 4. I don't know why, but I did it and I just loved it.
And the good thing
Awesome
about
game, man.
the good thing about GTA was that no matter if you had it on Xbox, PlayStation 4, or on the PC, everything transferred over.
Yep. Which was awesome. That's what they should do with all these games, man. I hate trying to play a game on a different system and then you got to start all the way up over. Or either your online stuff gets reset back to zero, which is the stupidest thing in the world. If you're online, all that stuff should be saved, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It just makes sense.
I hope that we see something where everything, all the GTAs come together. Liberty City. What was the other GTAs? I wish that they would to create the server that you can, catch a plane to Liberty City and all these other places. I hope to see something like that. It's been rumored to do so, but I haven't seen anything. A lot of people are saying there's a lot of Easter eggs inside of GTA 5 where they're predicting that everything will come together. But I hope that we see something this year with them bringing all the GTAs together in one single world, even if they have to put them on certain servers and you have to have some type of load time in order to go to the next part of the world. That would be awesome for me, and I think that all GTA lovers would love to see that, and especially Red Dead Redemption 2. Even though that's coming out next year, hopefully they show us some type of gameplay. I don't know, and I think that's the only two big titles worth mentioning for me at least. Y'all guys take it.
Well, there's some. I was looking today, and I can't tell you the names of the new IPs that are coming out, but there are a couple of new IPs that look pretty good. They're coming out. I don't know if you guys remember the old game Two Brothers, which was an Xbox arcade game, but they're coming out with a prison game, or a game where it's co-op, totally co-op, where you break out of prison and you go on an adventure with each other. I mean, it looked pretty good.
Two Brothers. I'm trying to get Two Brothers.
Two Brothers was an Xbox arcade game a few years ago, whereby you had to work with these two brothers. It was a single player game. You worked with the two brothers to get through the entire game with one joystick. So.
Wow. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty neat.
All right, shoot. Well, anything else?
I think we got 2 more things to talk, or 3 more things to talk about. Capcom. What do we want to see from Capcom games coming out? Because we already got Resident Evil.
I know.
Street Fighter is a known IP.
I don't care to see a Street Fighter. I don't want to see no Street Fighter game.
I think that's been done to death.
Yeah, it's done to death. And with that last Street Fighter 5, I'm like, wow, that was not a whole game, man. Because you even see how it was launched. It almost puts your mind as far as how they did Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
I think Capcom tried to buy off from Microsoft on how they did it. You know, release the game in like little sections.
Yeah, that I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I don't like that either. So I really don't know what Capcom can bring us.
Quest.
I don't know either. I mean, Capcom hasn't really come out with a new IP in I don't know how long. I mean, it's really the rehash of rehashes.
Everything else, yep.
Yep.
All right. And the other thing, we have one more thing after this one. I don't know if y'all heard of a little game called H1Z1.
Yep.
Oh, now Mike's heard of it because I let him play it. Have you heard of that, Quest? PC game.
I've heard of H1Z1.
That that was the reason for me wanting to stream. I saw that game. It was an open world game, and it has changed dramatically since I saw it. It's changed to almost a third person shooter type game. I hope that comes to PlayStation. Though they've been saying that they were going to port that game over to PlayStation. I know we just finished talking about GTA and their stuff, but on at least on the PC side, they have mods where they have these real world mods where you can be a police officer, you can patrol GTA, you can patrol whatever city that they in. You could be a policeman. You can pull people over. You can be bank robbers and stuff like that. And you have to stay in that role playing situation as like you have to do when you're playing like a Star Trek VR bridge. You have to stay in that role. You can't break character. And I wish that they implement something like that, a mod like that with GTA, or they bring out some game to that's popular on PC that allows people to play a real experience role playing game. And I want to tell you about this game that's called it begins with an I. Identity. That's on a PC, right? Hopefully we see that too. Identity is a role playing game, and it's basically what you do is you pick a career. Now you can either be like I said, a policeman. You can be anything that you want, a doctor, or a judge, or whatever. And at least if you go to identityrpg.com, you'll see what I'm talking about. They give you, well, you can get this apartment and you can furnish it with beds. It's like your second world. It's like Second Life, but it's just it's the whole nother better experience. So if your real life isn't as is not as fabulous as you want, you can play this game called Identity, and you can have everything that you can possibly want and a life that you really want to live. And I hope that they bring Identity out at least to the PC. I hope that they bring it out to the console as well, because from what I've seen with Identity, that is a role-playing game like no other, man. I mean, even with the mods with GTA, with the real-world mods, these guys are talking to cop lingo. They're pulling people over. I mean, you just watch some of the cop mods on YouTube with GTA 5, man. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. I've never been interested in role-playing games until I saw those GTA mods, and then when I seen Identity. Now I'm at Identity's website right now, and they still have the Kickstarter. You can still donate stuff. You can, I mean, you can still buy these packages, and once it does release, then you'll be able to play the game. But this Identity game, man, you can break in people's houses, you can rob, you can steal their stuff, you can kill them, and I mean, it's just like it's like a real life experience. Only thing you're doing is playing on the PC. So if you shoot somebody on there, you may get sentenced to like maybe life or 30 days, and 30 days would be an equivalent of 30 minutes or hour. Something I forgot how they did it, but Identity, please check that out. And that's one of the most baddest games, role playing games that I've ever seen created. Hopefully, we see that, and hopefully that'll be ported over to the video game consoles. But
So,
that that's about it. And I guess the last thing that we're going to talk about is VR. What do Not everybody's a fan of VR, but what would be something that would get people interested in purchasing or investing in a VR setup?
you know what? I think something that would get somebody interested in if VR was cheaper. You know, that's the only way to actually draw people in. As far as, cause right now it's a big price point for it. Even the PlayStation VR is still what, $399?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
money to
so-
pay for that.
Yeah. Granted, when you play the game, I do. I'm glad I got the PlayStation VR. It's something I never experienced before. As far as with VR, it's my first actual step into VR. That actually how it's supposed to be. Remember many moons ago they had something called what was that jump? That Virtual Boy, which was horrible.
Oh yeah.
It was all red and all that. I'm like, no, this ain't what VR is supposed to be. You thought VR is supposed to be something like, I don't know if you remember the movie like Lawnmower Man. You're like, oh man, this would be cool or whatever, but it's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's what you thought VR was going to be like these other these movies and everything, like Ghost in the Machine and stuff like that. That's what you thought VR was going to be. PlayStation 4 VR actually brought you to that stuff. When you actually put this thing on, you're like, oh my gosh, it feels right here. And granted, the graphics aren't the best quality, but they're real good as far as what's being offered to you in this small package, as far as this right here. And with the power of PlayStation able to run this, which blew me away because I love Resident Evil up in VR. I wouldn't play it no other way. And this other game that just came out, Farpoint, they are in the right direction with these games as far as now that they're doing it. But granted, when it first launched, you just had your little demo disc. It really isn't harnessing, the power of what VR was meant to be. This is just like a taste or what they call an experience that you experience with VR. But now, as far as with this, they have some time to actually work with the system, and they're in the step in the right direction now. I think with this Farpoint and games in the future. But I want to see what this next VR game is going to be. So I'm really excited towards VR.
All right, Quest, we let you take
I
it.
think VR has a lot of potential, but it's got to be done right, and they've got to do it in such a way where people don't get sick. They've
Right.
got to do it in such a way where it's really a truly immersive experience,
Mm-hmm.
not
Okay.
gimmicky.
Right. I hate gimmicky stuff. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gimmicky stuff. What they call experiences. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can live without playing this in VR. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So.
Well, Quest, we're definitely going to come over there and shoot an episode, but I'm gonna bring in the HTC Vive over there so you can check it out. I don't know if you
Okay, bud.
did you get the PlayStation VR?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so we gotta bring that over there too.
Well, I've just taken a wait and see at it, just to see how everything's going to go,
One-
because you're talking about some serious investments in things that could go south.
Right.
Now the PlayStation VR. Now there are three major headsets out there. There's the PlayStation VR, HTC Vive, and the Oculus Rift. The PlayStation VR being the cheapest, which is $499. The Oculus, which has improved since the launch because it comes with the touch controllers. These are one of the best touch controllers that's out there. And then you have the HTC Vive, that is the $700 pocket buster. Now, of course, I have the HTC Vive and I have the PlayStation VR. I don't play my Vive as much as I play. Well, I don't really play both of them. The only I think I'm starting to play it more with the VR bridge, and the reason why I'm playing that is because you can interact with people from the Vive and the Oculus, and that is great, man. So everybody is on one server. You know what I'm saying? But with the VR, I think that they're gonna have to come out with something that doesn't give people motion sickness, because that's what's throwing a lot of people off, because you're seeing one thing
Huh?
and your brain is not reacting to what you're seeing. Now, if you're falling, your brain is thinking that you're moving rapidly, but if you don't have that physical attribute, that's when you
I like it.
start getting motion sickness. Now,
Oh yeah.
there's this treadmill called the Omni that's supposed to come out, and it wraps around your waist, and it's basically a treadmill. You can turn 360 degrees, and they were playing a first person shooter game, and the person was running. So you're running on this treadmill. It's a circle treadmill, and you're crouching and you're doing all this stuff, and you're up and you're physical with it. And I think that's good for young people, because people my age, you may enjoy
Yeah.
that for about like maybe 15 minutes.
2 minutes.
But then after that, it's gonna be like,
I'm tired, bro.
you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to take an energy drink, or you're gonna have to use your inhaler to get your energy back. But I think VR, I think it's pretty good the way that they're doing it now. I think just the motion sickness is throwing it off.
Yeah.
And actually, I got a party that I'm doing Saturday, and I'm bringing the HTC Vive out there, and I'm letting people experience it. So I'm gonna see how they react to that. But hopefully, I see more on the Hololens, and if that's gonna implement anything with the new Xbox coming out. It's too soon to make any changes to the PlayStation VR, because that would be a slap in the face to most people. Although Sony may have the tendency to say, well, look, since we're bringing out the Pro, you can get the Pro VR, because it has a better resolution. It doesn't have the screen board effect. They may have did something better with the ventilation, and they may have did something wirelessly with it. Now, I know HTC Vive is coming out with an adapter that dismisses all those cables, and now you can play it wirelessly. That's what I'm hoping to see as well. And then I'm hoping to see that you're not tethered to your box, because that creates a very dangerous and expensive situation, because I've seen so many fails with people running into walls, people running into their TVs, these games that are freaking people out. Like, oh man, I don't know if you can handle Don't Knock Twice, but I'll let you play that when we bring it. But that game is a doozy, man. That game is a doozy. You're gonna have to move some furniture for that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That game is not a joke. And
Yeah.
I just hope that the motion sickness and the wireless would be an ideal situation for me to see something new done with the VR. That's what I'm hoping to see.
Well, VR is really neat. It's a step up from the 3D that I kind of talked you into years ago.
Mm.
It's just, they just need to get the price point right, and they need to not do it in such a way where, we have gimmicky games based upon it. It should make you feel free, should make you feel like you're immersed in the game, and you should get that magic feeling that we've been talking about tonight when you're playing it.
And that is one of the best escapes ever, man. I was playing this game called V Time. Well, it's not a game; it's kind of like a social app. When I first played V Time, I think I started playing it at 9 o'clock that night, and I didn't get off till about like 5 something that morning, because this was on the cell phone, the Samsung Gear. I was playing it on that, man, and I just lucked up and found 3 other people that weren't immature, and we just sat up all night having a nice adult discussion about any and everything. And it was so good, man, that I lost track of time. And then you can change your environment. There was an underwater environment. There was a environment where you were hanging off a cliff. It was one where you were in space. Then there was one that you were in London, like on a balcony, and you had this wine in front of you. And a couple of other places. Man, that game was tight, man. I love that game, and the head tracking on that, even on the Samsung Gear, when I was moving my head around, I can see everything, and the tracking worked great on that, and I didn't have any sensors or any lights to for it to capture the movement. That's what I'm hoping with the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift and the Vive. I hope that they do something better where it doesn't have to be tracked with this camera and these golden, these light up spheres, because it will lose you at a point. Like some of the games, when you turn your head, it's supposed to be able to track those lights. But then when you keep turning back and forth, I'm telling you, when you start playing VR games, and especially if you're up and you're mobile, you're not going to be in the same place that you are when you take that headset back off. And then if you're not careful, you're going to bump into something, you're going to break something, especially you're going to break your TV, you're going to hit somebody. Quest says something about the not being able to hear him. You know, if there's a fire or something and you're downstairs playing a VR game and you're in front of a fireplace and you all of a sudden feel this heat hit you, you're like, wow, this game is really awesome. And you might just mess around and burn up in the basement. If the fire marshals come down there and you got a burnt body with a head with a PlayStation VR headset on your head and a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you had a good time doing it, right?
Oh man, they would just need to get better at that, man. But that's what I'm hoping to see. Mike.
Well, okay, I already talked about VR and all that stuff, bro. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys from coming on. Even appreciate SOCOM Warrior.
Yeah.
He was on, but I guess he's still in his Madden game. Quest, appreciate you as always, bruh.
No problem, guys.
I've known this man for many years, man. We started out on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. And how I met Quest was I was in this other clan called SPT, and we met playing SOCOM. And every time that we would link up, it would always be NBL versus SPT. So there was Fat Tony, Expert Warrior, Fixer, who else? It was a couple of other people.
You can't forget Bones.
Bones.
Yep.
R.I.P. Ticklet. You know, I don't know if he was with us at that time or he was with y'all at that time. That may have been later.
We had Red Plague. You know, we had quite a few guys.
And then all these guys. So, like, every time we would play SOCOM, we would always match up. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good game session. Like, nobody was disrespectful. Everybody played the game, and we was good. Then I don't know how it came to be that I went from SPT to NBL. I think a lot of people on SPT started playing something else. So every time I would go into the game session, a couple of them wouldn't show. and then I would always run into NBL members. So I was like, well, I think I just wound up joining them because SPT wasn't playing anymore. And then we became good friends. And I did not know that this man lived a couple of miles away from me. So I don't know how we got into the conversation one day, but we found out that we lived close to each other. So, like, you know, we exchanged phone numbers and everything. We started talking. We met up a couple of times and we went out to dinner. I came over Quest house quite a few times. I think he came over to the house sometimes and we just became good friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the power of playing with a lot of people that has maturity in the game. And you can get with a lot of good people. There are still a lot of good people online that you can connect with and play with, and you can have a fun time, and they don't have to be buttholes about stuff. And you know, it's nothing like getting with a group of people. And I'm not gonna say guys because I don't want to X any females out, but it's nothing like getting with a good group of people on a game session and having some fun, and don't have to worry about, you know, people getting mad. Of course, we're gonna talk trash to each other. Yeah, I blew you up and all this other stuff, but it's just in fun. You know what I'm saying? And man, we had some ball. We had a ball with SOCOM, and we had a ball with when that Xbox Live launched. And I can remember countless nights of us playing Rainbow Six. Oh man, I remember one night we was playing Rainbow Six. And I was just hitting people left and right, man. Pop, 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 pop. Man, that was the best game I ever had. And then fast forward a couple of years later, I'm just, if I peek and somebody just give me a headshot and I'm done. But man, it was a good time, man. Back in the day on the original Xbox, playing Rainbow Six, man. I never forget Rainbow Six Vegas, man. And SOCOM was so good, man. SOCOM was so good, and then they came out with that garbage on PlayStation 3. Oh man.
We had some good times. I remember Bin Laden. I know you remember Bin Laden, our sniper.
Bin Laden.
That guy would, yeah. His name was controversial, but that guy could snipe, man. He could somebody.
Oh man.
But we had a lot of fun back in the day. It was really good times. I mean, there were times that we would be out. We actually felt like we were out on the battlefield, man. We really did.
Oh man, them wars, man. Them wars. We took a lot of whippings, but we gave a lot of whippings out. And that's SOCOM. There is, even though the graphics to today's standards are not where it is, and if I reviewed a game that looked like SOCOM now, I would probably give it a 0. But I think that SOCOM is by far the best multiplayer game ever made. There is no other game. I mean, I love Ghost Recon now, but Ghost Recon does not compare to SOCOM. That headset.
Well, you know, back in those days, you know, the graphics were okay, but it was more your imagination and the social aspect, because you have to realize that was in the golden age of game chat. I mean, none of us were used to being able to play games with our friends and have the same interest. You know, it was an incredible time with the PS2, with game chat. It was just coming out on a console, and it was magical. I mean, to be able to talk to your friends all over the country, it was incredible.
You always had that one person that had that dial-up connection. Man, he would lag all the time. You would see him just up against the wall running, and
oh yeah,
you would just have to finish the game, and hopefully he would chime back in, man. But even with that dial-up connection, man, that was some fun times, man. I hope
But
that
we
go-
had a good time. I remember dial up on the Dreamcast was incredible too. I mean, for the first time.
yeah, I've never got the network cable for the Dreamcast. I always had the dial up, but that was fun. I don't think that they had voice chat at that time.
No, they didn't. It was text. You had a keyboard,
Yep.
and but that was still good. I mean, I made some good friends just through us typing back and forth while we were playing.
And that
You know,
disc
it was
that you had to
incredible.
put in, that CD that you had to put in just to get online. Oh man,
Oh yeah.
that was a fun time, and that's when your games worked. You didn't have
SegaNet.
uh-huh.
SegaNet. It was SegaNet.
You didn't have to worry about putting in your game, and then you had to wait 40 minutes to download because it needed to do all that. You just put the game in, and it worked. You didn't have to do nothing
yeah.
else. And Dreamcast at its heyday was the best graphics, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm so proud.
I remember Phantasy Star, man. When Phantasy Star came out, Phantasy Star Online, that was incredible to be playing with your friends and being in those dangerous situations with those bosses and everybody scrambling and working together. That was some incredible stuff.
What about GameSpy, that internet connection, and was it Steel Battalion?
Man, I love Steel Battalion. I wish they would do a modern version of that.
Well,
I mean, a real version of Steel Battalion.
totally
That was an incredible game.
Hopefully we see that. Hopefully we see that at E3.
If they did a real version of Steel Battalion with today's abilities for these machines, it would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what the cost, you still have that big rig. Even with Star Trek VR Bridge, if they could implement some type of contraption like that with the bridge, I mean, Quest, you got to watch one of the Twitch videos of how Star Trek VR Bridge is played. If they implement a controller like that, that game would be unstoppable, man. That game would be I mean, it's already fun as is because you're role playing and everything. But if they had the controllers to go with it, oh man, that would be nice.
Oh yeah.
It's so much nice stuff. It was just so simpler back then, man. We were playing games. That's why I don't like the fact that they're trying to go all digital now. I mean, even though I give GameStop a hell of a time with their practices of giving you $1 for a game, and they give you $1 for it. No, I'm sorry. They give you $1.98 for the Division right now, and you pay. Some people pay $60 for that game, and now you're getting $1 and some odd money for it. That's totally ridiculous. And I just don't like the digital download. And what threw me off with that was that GameSpy, where you would buy games through that. And Quest, you brought quite a few games from GameSpy. Was it GameSpy or GameSpot?
I don't really remember, but digital does have its problems. I bought games from a few companies that I no longer have because I no longer have that computer. And I have no way of of getting them back.
Hey,
Tell him we made it on.
and
Took us forever to get back.
oh, there you go. What'd you say, SOCOM?
He ain't fucking sleep.
Oh, he talking about something else.
Hey,
SOCOM.
wrap the cake up, man. I'm not gonna eat no cake right now.
Oh, well, he
He
talking
ain't
about
eating no
cake.
cake right now, man. He's not gonna eat no cake right now.
But I just don't like the fact of digital downloads, man. I don't like that because
Well, I like the convenience of because I never traded or sold games. I like the convenience of not having to have to put a disc in. To be honest with you.
it's just that you have so many different hard drives, stacked up, and you would have to have some type of Excel file to say, okay, hard drive A has, this, that, and the other game on it, and it's just like too many peripherals that you have to have in order to have digital download games, man. And then people talk about putting it in the cloud, saving it in the cloud. What if that cloud server go down? Or like I said, PSN and Xbox Live is not going to be long term. It's not going to last forever. It's going to come a day where there's no more Xbox Live and there's no more PlayStation, PSN. Hopefully those days won't approach as soon as I'm expecting them to. But if that ever happens, then you're at a total loss, because if you brought all your game digitally, then you are SOL. You don't have access to it. It's nothing like having a physical copy. It's nothing like going to a brick and mortar and meeting somebody and say, okay, well, oh, you play this game, you play that game, okay, well, and then you build new relationships, you meet new people, you get different people opinions about the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just more of I like brick and mortar instead of digital. I'm always like that. You know what I'm saying? But just to me, digital downloads, if you can get the physical copy and you can get your digital download, then I'm good, and I can just store my CD somewhere in the closet, and I don't have to break it out. But I see where they go with, if you have your digital copy and you have a physical copy, then that's two for the price of one. You can give that physical copy to somebody else when you still have the digital copy to play with.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But to me, I still like, I like physical copies.
Yeah. Well, Fred and Mike, I'm going to have to run, buddies.
All right, bro. I'm about to say the same thing too.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, because we were wrapping it up, and then we came into another full discussion. Mike, after we close out the show, just stick around because I got something to talk to you about. All right. But thanks, Quest, for coming on. Thanks,
No problem.
So Calm, for coming on and sharing your love.
You guys-
You don't want no cake right now. And thanks Angel for coming on, and even Anton, bruh.
I'm back, guys.
Well, thank you for now coming on the show. The show is over now, but yeah. Go ahead and close it out, Mike.
Take a trip to Southeast.
Say what?
All right. I said, okay.
He breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I have, Fred?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Like always, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, you can hit us up on The Game Show. That's The Game Show with the name. I'm sorry, I'm eating.
Oh, he's eating cake.
No, I'm not eating cake. Excuse me. You know it's late at night, right? Don't forget to head over to the Facebook store page to find low price products. Don't forget to hit us up on VTOP. And don't forget to subscribe to become a Blameless Club member. And don't forget about the 500th episode coming out, where we're giving away a whole bunch of stuff, all just for $10. Get your $10 raffle ticket.
All right, and please remember to like, subscribe, and follow all our social media networks. Join our SteamUs community and our website community where you can get some free stuff. And we will see you next time on WWTF.
We want the facts.
The Gaming Show.
See you next time. Keep on watching. Thanks for tuning in.